Hi devs, welcome back. So we've created our form. Now we just want to put some, we want to actually create somewhere to store our data. So we are going to create a class to do that for us. If we go right click on Save Key, go to Add, and then click Class, and then we're just going to rename this class where I'm just going to call it Data Access. Oh, I've already got one. Have I? I don't see it if I do. Data access. Yes. That's strange. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. Right, so let's make this a public class. And first of all, we want to create an initializer function. So let's make it public. Void initialize. In fact, we'll make it a boolean just so we can do a callback. Public boolean initialize. I know I spelled that American, but initialize data file. We don't need to add any parameters. We'll just a simple yes or no. So inside here we want to check if the file exists. So we're going to be using system.io, and we'll say if first of all directory, and this is going to be checking if it doesn't exist, dot exists, and let's make a string. Let's return a string for the path. So we can do string get data file, and we'll do get, and inside here we will say string directory location equals, and we'll do environment dot get folder path, and we'll just get this from our my documents, and then string directory name. I'm just going to name mine. Let's name it leadmb. Then we can actually we'll put data directory for this one. Directory. And then under here we can just say return path.combine directory location and then directory name, and that's going to get us the directory, this directory that's in our documents folder. So get directory. So if it doesn't exist, then we'll say directory.create and then get directory. And then we can say if file, we'll do it again if it doesn't exist. And then up here, we'll create another one for the file. String get file path get, and then we'll say string directory location equals get data directory, and then string file name equals let's put config. Actually, no, we won't. We'll put call it data, and then we will return path dot combine directory directory location dot directory location, and then file name. IntelliSense is great sometimes, but then other times it's just really annoying. And then in here we'll just say get file path. And if it doesn't exist, then we'll just create it. So then we'll say file dot create, and then get file path dot close. So we'll close it as soon as we've created it. I think we'll call this initialized. No, actually, no, we'll keep it as it is. Actually, no, we'll just make this a void. Let's create a void. And then we just need to write the structure of our database or our XML file. So we'll say first of all, we'll need to let's just XML document. I can never remember what. Oh, it's just system.xml. So we need to now create the XML structure, and then in here, so we'll say for settings equals XML writer settings. Equals new. Then we'll do for writer equals XML writer dot create. That was right. And then inside here we'll get the path, and then we'll put the settings there, and then just put settings dot indented equals true. Now we just need to write the structure, so we can do writer dot start document, writer dot write start element, and let's just close that. So the root element is going to be credentials. Then we want to do writer dot write start element. This is going inside credentials, so we'll put actually I don't even think we need to add anything initially, as long as we've got that credentials to add to. writer dot end document, writer dot flush, and writer dot close. I think that's going to be okay. Let me just refresh my memory. Yeah, I don't think we need to add anything initially. Because we can just add to it and then, okay. So basically what we've done here is we've created our our path first. So this is our directory. I've named it leadmb. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to not put a space in between there just in case. And then we've created our file, which is just a data file. Actually, that should be data.xml. And then we've added our structure. We checked if they existed, if they exist. If not, then we create it. And the place we want to create it is right underneath this initialize. So first, let's reference our data access. DA equals new data access, and I just want to put initialize. Sorry, DA dot initialize data file. So that's going to be called every time this application opens. That's why we're doing the checks inside here. So if it doesn't exist, we'll create it. If the file doesn't exist, then we'll create the file. If the directory exists but the file doesn't, so we're going to have to, in fact, let's copy, let's put our own, let's put this into its own function. So we'll do void create file. We'll do that. So now all we need to do is, after we've created the directory, in fact, yeah, after we've created the directory, we'll just create the file. If the directory does exist and the file doesn't, then we'll do it again. We'll create file. I don't see how that would be possible, but just in case, like the file's deleted by accident or something, I'll just do that. Okay. So that's that sorted. Now we've got somewhere to save things. We just need to create our functions to actually save. So first, before I do anything, I'm going to create an XML document method. XML document x document. No. This is just going to do a var XML document doc equals new XML document. Then we'll do XML document, or no, we'll do doc.load, and we'll just load the get file path, and then we'll just return the doc. So basically this is just opening up that document for us, loading it. Let's create a save. So void save x document. This is going to take an XML document parameter, and we'll just call it document X document. Inside here, we just need to say X document dot save, and we'll pass through the file path, the get file path, and that's sorted. We've done that now. So let's do a public void. No, we'll do a public bool. Save. Actually, we'll do public void save. Should I do it as a bool? I'm trying to think more what makes sense. Yeah, we'll do it as a bool. Public bool create credential. Create credential. Don't know if that makes sense or not, but we'll just go with it. So this needs to take a few parameters. So we've got string username, string password, string email. This isn't in order, I know that. String URL, string username, password, URL, and name. In fact, I'll put that up at the top. Makes more sense. So in here we'll do bool result equals false. Always start with false and then return result. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create an element and add these as attributes, and then after we've added it, we want to then check it to see if it was added correctly, and then after that we can return whether that was whether it came back true or false. So what we need to do is, first of all, do var doc equals xdoc. We'll say var credentials equals doc.get elements by tag name, and that's credentials. And then we want to say var credential equals credentials. This can get a bit confusing. 0, because there's only one of these. It's going to bring back a list of them, but there's only one. So we'll say dot append child doc dot create element, and then our name credential. So then we'll do var user equals credential dot attributes dot append doc dot create attribute. This is going to be username var pass, and I'm just going to put it in as plain text at the moment. We're going to do something to encrypt it after. Credential dot attributes dot append doc dot create attribute password var email equals credential dot attributes dot append doc dot create attribute email var theme cred name equals credential dot attributes dot append doc dot create attribute, and then we'll just call that name. So we've got link URL for URL equals credential dot attributes dot append doc dot create attribute URL so now we just need to add the values to that. So we'll say user equals username. Oh no, sorry. User dot inner text equals username. Then we'll say pass dot inner text equals password. Email dot inner text equals email. Cred name dot inner text equals, sorry, that should be email. Credential name and user, URL dot inner text equals URL. Like that, and save that. So just underneath here, all we need to do is save Xml document and then pass through document. So this is where we'll check to see if added successfully. So now we'll repeat the process. We'll do var doc xdoc equals xdocument. Unless I can reuse that. Let's see if I can reuse that. So we'll just say doc dot var I'll do if credential. No, we'll do a for loop. We'll do for credentials. Wait a second. I'll do var child nodes equals credentials dot credentials 0 dot child nodes dot count. Then we'll say if child nodes I dot attributes dot get named item name dot inner text equals name credentials name, then we will set result equals true. You should really put more than that. It should really be if and just go through them all just to make sure that they're all correct. But just for time purposes, we'll just keep it at that. So if that's been set properly, it'll return true. So then we can deal with that in our app. So that's how to create an entry. Should be able to do this. So public, this is going to be returning it. So list in fact what we'll do is we will create a class for public class credentials public string username get set public string password get set public string email get set public credential name, actually that's string get set and public string URL get set. Save. Just need to add our semicolons to the end of there. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll do public list credentials and we'll call it credential list. So this is going to return all of the credentials. List credentials equals null. Oops. Return list. We'll say void, not void, var doc equals x. Oh, duh, putting this in the wrong place. X document. We'll say var credentials equals doc get name credentials. In fact, we'll put credential, and we'll do for credential dot count, and we'll just say for cred equals new credentials username equals credential I dot attribute dot get named item user so they're all. So we'll do user name dot inner text, credential name equals credential. Let's just copy this credential name dot inner text email equals credential I dot. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, what am I doing? Dot inner text. Just do that for them all. Right. So email, password, and URL. There we go. I forgot how to close it off then. So yeah, we'll now add that to list.add cred, and that'll go through each one. I've had problems with Universal Windows projects before, so I'm just going to surround this with an if statement. So we'll do if credential I dot actually no, it should be okay. No, thinking about it, should be okay because we're only bringing back that. No, we don't need to do that. So that should bring back the full list, so we can populate our list here with that. We will need to, don't know if we just get that done actually. Bring back a single one. Yeah, let's quickly do it. So public string, no, public credentials, get single credential string name. We'll do var doc equals xdoc. Let's do credentials cred equals null, and then we'll do var credential equals doc dot get name credential, say for credential dot count, and then we'll say if credential I dot inner text dot attributes dot get named item name dot get named item dot inner text equals name, then we will say credentials C equals new credentials. We'll say name equals name. No, name equals name email equals email. Oops. Password equals password. URL equals URL. And lastly, username equals username. Then under here we'll say cred equals C, and then underneath the for loop we will return cred. Awesome. Okay, that video went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but at least we've got a few functions that in the next video we can go into filling out the application a little bit more. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.